All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Metroid Dash randomizer race between PapaSchmo and derp as part of the Speedgaming Live Online 2025 tournament. This should be a pretty exciting one. Uh, derp, I would say, is a fairly distinct favorite, which is reflected by seeding as well. But PapaSchmo has been doing rando for a pretty long time. I think has been putting in some definite work to improve lately, so should be pretty cool to see. This is a Group D match, so derp is coming in as the first seed of his group, while PapaSchmo, bit of an uphill road to climb, is coming in as the third seed as part of this group. So far, derp has only faced the bottom seed, Karen, although certainly a pretty unlikely bottom seed, much more skilled than you might expect based on her ranking. But derp did still get the 2-0 there. PapaSchmo also 2-0 Karen, but has also taken an 0-2 to Frauber so far. So this match is going to be pretty important for PapaSchmo, I would say. Frauber went 1-1 with Lies and Gasoline, so I believe PapaSchmo, if he 2-0'd Lies and took 1-1 here, that still might not be enough to put him over Frauber, so he might have to win out the rest of his games to get the second seed. I guess assuming derp wins out in the group. Thus far, pretty standard start. CA stands for criteria. The info HUD, it gives you a little bit of dash information, some of which is relevant to us, some of which is not. You see that 60 there, that is how much damage a charge shot will do. And our runners do find power bombs, so they're both going to be going out that meme route portal. And derp's gonna take a little bit of a break here, allow PapaSchmo to catch up on the sync. And fortunately, Pop's had a little bit of trouble with construction zone there. It's funny, sometimes even the rooms that are exactly the same as you would do in vanilla, sometimes they can just get you, especially with nerves like our players might be experiencing right now. If PapaSchmo is also operating under the assumption that he has to win out, then that would be certainly a lot of added pressure, as our runners do find the top of Red Bryn. PapaSchmo taking the save first. I'm pretty sure it's faster to just check the portal and come back down. But could also be in case at the top of this elevator there is a good portal that they want to come back to after checking the rest of Red Tower. And derp, unfortunately, not having super missiles yet, derp as well as then Pops will have to both skip that Kip Miners check, which I know derp at least is a pretty big fan of. And wow, yeah, top of Green Bryn, not only is that the best area to find, I think top of Green Bryn is probably just the single best portal you can find early game. Because this is the best Green Bryn portal. You're entering an area with just a million major items. And there are supers, so we've seen a couple pretty bad ammo hunts this series. This tournament thus far, thankfully, will not be an issue tonight. Bombs certainly can be useful, especially when it is your first sort of quote-unquote movement item. Already having 10 power bombs, it's not nearly as useful. But it still can get you up places where you might normally need something like high jump. And Drewski stumbles upon an early plasma. It's largely a luxury item, but especially if our runners end up having to do something like a Variolus LN, plasma can really pay dividends. Oh, excuse me, derp stumbles upon an early plasma. Sorry, mixing up the chat and the runners. So yeah, nothing in the way of progression thus far. Still 2 checks here to make. And then after that, we'll see about whether the 2 portals at the end of Green Bryn have anything of value. Even if they don't, there's still the bottom of Red Bryn Star to explore, which you're not super unhappy about that. Even if going back through Green Bryn is cumbersome, you know both runners are going to be doing it. I think the most interesting scenario would be finding something like a front of wreck ship at one of the 2 portals. That could potentially be something that one runner would decide to leave behind and another one might go check the boss. Currently, our runners only have a way to kill and escape from 2 of the 4 bosses. And now they have a way to kill 3 of the 4 bosses. So, looks like whoever put 1,500 channel points on Varia is going to get a pretty big payout. Redfish room is interesting. That's definitely what you're exploring if there's nothing here at the bottom. I think a wreck ship or a Kraid you chase if it's at the bottom. Most other things you leave behind. Unless it's connecting to another hub area, but like, certainly with just 1 E-Tank, you're not going to do Upper Norfair. Business Center would probably be the best find, especially if you're derp and you're counting on having a movement advantage. It is the bottom of Red Tower, though, so that's fairly convenient. Don't have to leave behind the Spazer item. You can get both of these portals. It's a pretty cool gravity suit for Pops. I forget. I think I've seen this sprite before. I think Pops might have made it. Okay. Chill down game. So, yeah, that's go minus ammo mode. It has the potential to just be an extremely fast seed. So now, no matter... Okay, back of wreck ship. I'm assuming Derp's gonna go back for that after checking this portal. Unless we find, like, East Meridia here. Okay, so he is going to follow this Upper Norfair. Meanwhile, yeah, PapaSchmo is... Oh, he has not gotten his Varia suit yet. So we'll see what he does after he grabs his Varia. Yeah, I wonder how many majors you check here. Like, obviously it's not a very good go mode at all. But the earlier you hit your go mode, the less likely it is for each item to be something. And Derp is going for the hypo jump setup. I actually kind of think this is like the easiest hypo jump. He's just going to spring ball. I think that's fair. I feel like the visual cues for this hypo jump are a lot easier than I think it's like Bubble Mountain is the easiest hypo jump, then Worst Room, and then Plasma. Plasma hypo jump kind of sucks in my opinion. I don't like the visual cues. Alright, PapaSchmo is also following this Norfair. It would be a really tight Ridley. Like, if I... Actually, it's not necessarily a completable Ridley, either. I think if you find supers or power bombs, then that's what it takes to make the Ridley doable. At, the check you can make when wreck ship is off. I forget what that room's called. So, it would be a fairly risky... Spooky Missile, thank you. It'd be a fairly risky check to make, because then, if that's not ammo, you would have to go into the West Ocean Missile and get that. I actually think Bubble Mountain Hypo Jump is less annoying than Worst Room in the game Hypo Jump. It's just that, like, most people have practiced Worst Room Hypo Jump more than any of the others. Because it's the one that actually gets you something rather than just time save. And it looked like PapaSchmo got a grapple beam. Speed up the Dragon fight for sure. Potentially can save you some time in West Meridia with this moveset, but not the most thrilling item to find. And that was a criteria portal that PapaSchmo decided not to follow and see what the other portal was. Kind of interesting. I understand it a little more if you don't have suits, but like you can just do the gravity jump there. Oh, okay. So with the way he routed it, he was making that check before the other Bubble Mountain items, so that could be why. Yeah, that's true. PapaSchmo has grapple as well. Could have used that to cross the ocean. Yeah, we see derp is going to check the other portal. I really don't like isolating that one portal. That can hurt you really badly. And PapaSchmo's leaving behind Turian, which might hurt him, might not. So that is knowledge that derp just straight up has over PapaSchmo. I think with PapaSchmo, I think you can wall jump into a grapple and get those grapple blocks. I'm not sure though. Oh. Derp wanted to escape, but couldn't get back out after seeing what the item was. So the way that Bomb Chorizo works in this rando is Bomb Chorizo will awaken if you have bombs. The left side Bubble Mountain wall jump is, yeah. The one to get to Norfair Reserve, that's a hypo jump. And for those who may be unfamiliar, hypo jump is just a colloquial term used to refer to originally the wall jump through worst room in the game without any movement items, which is not a frame perfect, pixel perfect jump, but it's a frame tricky, pixel tricky jump. I don't know the exact numbers, and I think the answer is it kind of depends. So there's the other East Meridia portal. I assume you have to just go do that now, after you check Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, it's complicated. So, derp finds the other side of West Meridia. Yeah, you definitely check these items in Business Center. And PapaSchmo is fighting Croc. I'm not huge on this choice, I'll be honest. I understand that PapaSchmo probably doesn't know Crystal Flash Clip, but I think especially in a race where you have a movement advantage and you are one item from Go mode, I think it's pretty hard to justify Croc. It's a decision you make on the fly, and there are definitely different schools of thinking. I just think if you are the disadvantaged runner, I don't think there's an upside here. Like, yeah, the upside is you found an ice or speed item at the first Croc check, and you probably come out faster than CF Clip. Maybe. Actually, probably not even. Like, CF Clip is slow, but so is Croc. I guess a charge would be a pretty huge spike there, actually. So, like, I don't think it's entirely unreasonable if you are considered to be the underdog to just, like, purely play for charge. I think that's generally going to be better than doing any skips, but honestly, no matter what, I think the answer is just try and play the best race that you can. Meanwhile, since hitting go mode, none of these checks have come up with anything. So kind of unfortunate for our runners, at least thus far. The person who decides to low percent this seed is coming out really well. Yeah, and that was a cool space jump ice escape from derp, pretty similar to what you would see in something like KPDR. Yeah, derp's a really talented runner. And that is speed. I think at that point, I kind of just like not checking any majors that aren't like directly on path or maybe behind bosses. God, pretty close to ammo go mode too. Yeah, I mean, barring some intense ammo shambles, I'm expecting this to be a sub 50. And this has to be, both of these have to be portals that Derp likes. Yeah, so now we know, I don't think Derp does know, which is a little awkward, that the last West Meridia portal will lead to LN, which leads to Kraid. So I think Derp is missing that Croc entrance, which turns out to be vanilla. So for him, I think it's a 50-50. Whether Kraid is in LN. But he knows the last portal is going to be LN. And then it'll either be Kraid or Croc at the back, which is the most annoying 50-50 to get. Yeah, it absolutely matters whether it's front to back or back to front. Um... It, yeah, sorry, exactly what Nitro says it in the chat. If it's back to, like, if it's front to back, then there's basically, like, back to back is way faster than front to front. So if you find the front portal first, you are much more incentivized to check the back. But regardless, you are feeling bad the whole time. if you do a back-to-back on a 50-50 and then you win the 50-50, you do feel incredible. That's just not going to be the case this race. I'm not sure if it would be enough, but like if PapaSchmo used his map knowledge to his back, so it is back to front. If PapaSchmo used his map knowledge, whereas derp just exited out of here, that wouldn't be the difference, especially since I don't know what PapaSchmo's doing right now. He looks a little bit lost. I don't know if he messed up his tracker or he just realized he was going the wrong way. This is just such a fast seed. I do have trouble seeing PapaSchmo coming back into this, even with the map knowledge. I think even if derp chooses the wrong option in this 50-50, he's still ahead. So where is PapaSchmo trying to go at this point? I guess this is to wreck ship, maybe? Could also be to East Meridia. He's also not sure, but decides to go for West Meridia, or wreck ship, excuse me. So this is going to be an additional time loss. Having to come in from the back is really slow. There's a reason it's called Forgotten Highway. In vanilla, you only go this way if you're doing map completion. You'll do proper Forgotten Highway. If you're doing RBO or another category that goes from Plasma specifically to wreck ship, then you'll do reverse Forgotten Highway like what PapaSchmo's doing. But it's exceedingly rare. Really nice quick grapple there from derp. I think theoretically speaking, you can maybe get 3 spark faster, but that's really annoying and difficult. So just go for the easier kill. Fact, I guess it's fine that derp hasn't farmed up because he has a crystal flash, but that does still make me inclined to think that he's exiting out the back, so that's going to feel really bad. Oh, that was a nice plasma shot there. Okay, he's taking the save. That was a oof. Okay, pulled it off. That was a cool little manip that's become quite popular in map rando. Yeah, so now derp, having gotten this call right, is going to have an extremely fast seed from here on out. And gets an extra minor item this check this way, which is quite nice. Derp, you need those. He does in fact not have enough ammo to beat the game, so presumably just forgot about Mickey Mouse. Yeah, you can skip it in that it hurts you more if you reset. I kind of don't care for that thinking for Mickey Mouse. It's like 10 additional seconds you'll lose essentially. That's true. He doesn't need Mickey Mouse items, only legitimate ones. Yeah, and I love having the webcams. Derp is quite thankful to find Kraid here. After this, he has East Meridia, so I'm not too worried about his ammo. Would have been nice to find a super. Also, PapaSchmo did find charge at Fireflies, which derp is never going to get. So that is a pretty significant time save. Unfortunately, just not enough at this point. PapaSchmo has to go to front. He has full map knowledge, I'm pretty sure. Oh, nice attempt at an air Doppler there for derp. Air Dopplers are really annoying. I do not care for them. PapaSchmo is farming up for a potential Ridley. Will be a bit sad when that does not come to fruition. Of course, that's still farming that helps you out later, potentially. And I respect the safety here from derp, going for the energy refill. Definitely not necessary, but especially when you know you got the route this seed, and you know you have the movement advantage, you might as well take the safeties. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, without that Ice Beam, I don't think this will be the fastest seed of the tournament, but I do think it'll be like somewhere in the mid-40s. Probably somewhere from a 44 to a 46. The route to get to East Meridia is kind of annoying. I'm pretty sure you go from the back, so once you're out of LN, you go up to the top right West Meridia portal, Crab Shaft. Run across to the other Business Center portal, then run across to the other left side Criteria portal, which puts you at back of East Meridia. And then you end up doing a back-to-back East Meridia, then run across Criteria. So the map is not perfect. It's a little annoying. But it's still fast enough. Meanwhile, PapaSchmo, I don't think he actually killed the Rex ship boss while he was there. I think he went to check the front first and then decided to keep following it. Which makes his route a lot more awkward, unfortunately. And we'll see in a second whether he leaves out the front. I think he has all the knowledge for it. Could be wrong, though. He might be missing some of West Meridia. But I think he saw it all. And derp is through LN nicely. So, this is a Main Street check, which he's having a little trouble with this short charge, actually. And it's a super. You have to do that. Yeah, he's going for the backup spark. Totally fair. It's kind of an annoying stutter 3. So if it keeps breaking, don't be a hero. Just go for the easier strat. Kind of interesting he's not checking the Everest missile. Or Everest super in the vanilla game. The Everest minor item. Okay, so he is going for the path that gives you front of East Meridia. This might be faster. I think it's probably pretty close. Because you do have to climb up all of Red Tower. But front of East Meridia is just so much nicer. Honestly, I think if your heuristic is just like go for the front of East Meridia whenever possible, that's gonna be right, or at least close enough to right a lot of the time. That's true. Runners can also get the kit miners from the beginning of the game. Because derp did not have supers the first time he came through here. Now, from here, though, presumably it's a front-to-back East Meridia. The other real option is take the other Red Tower portal to the meme route portal and climb up from there. which might be faster than back of East Meridia. I'm not sure. Oh, that's a fun Shine Spark. Yeah, I would doubt too. Meme Route Portal also sucks. And leaving out back is much less hateful than entering from back. Also, with that, Aqueduct derp has beat the game ammo. With no refills and 5 spare missiles. And with that spare super pack, you are just not worried whatsoever about Mother Brain. So that's really cozy. Also makes this fight a little bit nicer. Oh wait, no, he already fought Ridley. This is Kraid. Fun little deboost for the drops. Little funny when you don't need any drops at this point, but it's also just a really fun deboost to do. It's the only deboost I can think of where your visual cue is seeing your energy deplete. Because can't think of any other deboost right now that you do off screen. And yeah, he's going for the front to back. I do think this is probably faster. Might be faster by a decent bit even. Yeah, PapaSchmo is still trucking through the seed. Unfortunately, I don't really see him finishing. I think just being 2 bosses behind is... We'll see how far he's able to make it by the end of the seed. Oh, and he did not check Mama Turtle to get speed. So that's really unfortunate. So yeah, the seed, I guess with the portals ends up being a bit slower than I thought it would be, actually. Still gonna be low 50s, 51 or 52. Yeah, I mean, it's still a jet seed. And derp's not gonna mess around with the Rinka power bomb strats. Fair enough. I do think they're worth learning, but they can feel finicky at times. You just kind of have to go and practice and try and do the same movements every time, like you would any other Metroid room strat. Ridley's close to being dead. PapaSchmo should be fine here. Has a presumably full reserve. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ridley is dead. Unless he's not. Nicely done. Really a screw attack. Pretty much pointless at this phase in the game. And from here, PapaSchmo should be leaving out the back of Wreck Ship. I guess you can go out the front of Wreck Ship, go up West Meridia through Green Bryn, Red Bryn, and then front of East from there. Which is not entirely dissimilar to the path Derp went, but is even a bit longer. Or no, it's a bit shorter than it was for Derp. Maybe that path is... Oh, short charge attempt must have just missed. That one looked fairly good. He might be able to get it on this one. Here, nicely done. It's a really annoying short charge to do, because that door transition's so laggy. Yeah, Derp can even take a triple catch-up here and be fine. Doesn't feel like it though, decides to take no catch-ups instead. It's like PapaSchmo got a little lost here. Oh my god, he doesn't have a super. Oh no. Did he co-jacked it? That's really unfortunate. Thankfully, this makes sense. I was gonna say Thread the Needle room is pretty good for farming, but yeah, actually the Bugs and Butterfly room have a pretty good super drop rate. And that puts you close to where you need to go. So that's probably faster. That was a pretty cool farm there from Pops. Meanwhile, Derp is on to Mother Brain 3. Yeah, expect like a mid 52. Escape is a bit slower without high jump boots, but not much. Especially when you have space jump. Or without screw tech, I don't think space jump really matters, actually. Unless you mess up in Parlor. But regardless, it mostly impacts the beginning of Leodoc's room. You have to jump through the door and land on that first platform before continuing onward. Yeah, and Derp handles that Leodoc's room nicely. It's kind of a funny place to do the diagonal spark. Gets kind of scary unless you know what you're doing. Diagonal sparking that far to the right. Ooh, and gets the forward D boost from the morph. And with that, Derp finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 52 minutes and 43 seconds. GG. And upon seeing this, PapaSchmo does opt to forfeit. So yeah, with that, Derp will be taking game 1 of this series. Game 2 will be right after this. We're just going to take a quick break. The runners have not started yet, so it'll probably be somewhere in the realm of 7 to 10 minutes. So go get yourself a snack, go get some water, use the bathroom, whatever you need to do, and come right back here for some more Super Metroid.